All right, a desperate search for survivors is underway right now after those deadly floods and mudslides tore through Nepal's border region with China. More than 48 hours after this disaster, hundreds of people, including foreign tourists, are still unaccounted for. We understand at least 65 U.S. nationals are among them. Scientists believe the landslide occurred here when part of a mountain collapsed that was containing a glacier. This was a glacial collapse. It caused 49 acres of ice and rock to plummet thousands of feet into the river below, and that sent a wall of water pushing downstream. President Trump says he's offered officials in Nepal, quote, any help that they need. In the meantime, the anxious wait for news of their loved ones is still taking a toll on families.
I'm in Northern Virginia, so I did go to the Chinese embassy. I did visit the embassy of Nepal. So I got nothing from them. I don't know. I don't know. So it's 48 hours. What are they? Where are they?
Officials in Nepal now say more than 500 people have been killed, but there are fears that number will rise significantly. And there are new concerns of more flooding. You see a lake formed by the landslide overflowed earlier, and that briefly put rescue efforts on pause. We're joined now by Dan Hovey. He's the Vice President of Emergency Response at Direct Relief. That's an organization working to provide medical aid and relief in Nepal. Daniel, good morning and welcome. What are you hearing from your colleagues on the ground about the latest situation in the country and this lake overflowing, which is putting relief efforts on hold?
Yeah, it's a serious situation. You know, the geography of Nepal presents many challenges on good days. This disaster caused major impacts on the local infrastructure. Bridges are down, roadways are down, so people are still trapped. So the priority right now is to get air assets, helicopters in to evacuate and rescue people who are alive and vulnerable people, elderly, the sick, getting them down into Kathmandu to seek to medical care. And our focus right now at Direct Relief is to support those first responders. We've equipped a medical team locally in Nepal to get up into these flood impacted areas with medical supplies, treat people who have been hurt and get them to safety.
It appears no one was prepared for this in any way. That footage of people in utter shock that this flood was taking place is hard to watch. I think there's one region that still has not been accessed by people because of the roads being washed away, and that only helicopters can get to some parts. So what do you know about the hardest hit regions, and does the government really have a full sense of the scale even 48 hours later?
You know, they might not, just because of where this is. This is in the upper Himalayas, the largest mountains in the world. So access is limited in normal times after a disaster like this, where you can't reach these areas by road, even on normal times. It's extremely challenging, and they're relying on air assets, whether they be helicopters, private helicopters. The Nepal Army is working around the clock to reach these communities that, this disaster impacted about 90,000 people who lived in this valley. So right now there's still time to find survivors, and that's going to be the priority over these next couple of days.
We know that President Trump has pledged some U.S. support. Does Nepal have the infrastructure it needs to deliver desperately needed support to the areas that do need it right now, do you think?
Nepal is one of the poorest countries in Asia, so there are challenges in working in that environment. But fortunately, there are some amazing local healthcare partners that Direct Relief supports all year round. We do prepare for things like this. There's a seasonal flood risk in Nepal, so we pre-position medical supplies with our hospital partners. All of these medical supplies have been dispatched into the flood zone. They're staging medical camps at the base of the valley to provide care for people who've been evacuated. So again, this will be the priority to save as many people as we can.
Well, Daniel Hovey, we appreciate you working as hard as you can to help those in need. Keep us posted as that improves, we hope, in the days and weeks ahead. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.